Good evening, everybody. It is Charlie here, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Yes, finally back with content after what has been a bit of a mad sort of week to 10 days, really. As a few of you know, obviously, I did share it on my socials. My missus had an operation at the end of last week. She had appendicitis, so she had her appendix removed. So obviously she's been getting over that, which wasn't nice. So I thought I'd just take a little break again from content just to make sure, obviously, that she's okay and on the mend, which she is now, which is great. And that now means that I can get back into my routine. I can get back into providing content for you guys. I appreciate all of your patience. And I appreciate all of the messages that I've had privately from a few of you wishing my missus well, and I really do appreciate that. So we're back with a new segment that as I say, it, the break away has actually given me more of time to think about how I want to structure content moving forward. And I think this is a new segment that I've been thinking about trying, where we upload slightly later, so that obviously anything that has happened throughout the day can happen up to a certain point, and then I can give my reaction to it. So we're back with late night leads. So just before we get into it, as always, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. And as I said, like the video as well. It does help get the video out there. Share it with your friends, your family, your neighbours, whoever. Let's get more eyes onto the channel. Hit that notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So then, what's been happening? Well, not a right lot, to put it frankly, and it's really starting to annoy me now. Look, I understand that the EFL are obviously in the process of making the takeover official, but it just feels like they're taking the biscuit a little bit, to be fair. I've never known anything go on so long. I do firmly believe that things are happening in the background, which in a way makes it more annoying, because there are things that could be announced, there are things that could be put in place, but it can't happen until this takeover is official with the AFL. It probably is official with the AFL. They're probably just taking the mick to make it official. Various outlets, the Athletic, the Yorkshire Evening Post, BBC Radio Leeds, are all reporting that the AFL should make the takeover official over the coming days. At work, whenever I get any spare time, I'm checking my phone constantly. No news from the Leeds United page, no news from Phil here, the Athletic, anything, Fabrizio Romano, nothing. And everyone's becoming a little bit impatient now, and it's understandable. It's less than 6 weeks until that first game of the season against Cardiff, which obviously I haven't done any content since the fixtures have been announced. So obviously Cardiff up at home is less than 6 weeks away, and we don't have a manager. We don't have a permanent director of football. There's uncertainty regarding players going, players coming in, and it's just starting to worry me a little bit now. Like I said, the little bit of positivity that I am clutching at the minute is that things must be happening in the background. There must be things that once the AFL make this official will just be in place pretty much straight away or imminently. I think the manager is wrapped up and sorted in the background. I really do. Because over the last sort of 24, 48 hours, we're starting to get linked with players now, which for me can only happen if there's a manager in place, or at least they know who the manager is going to be. And that man, who I think has been appointed and will be appointed shortly, is Daniel Farker. All of the things we're all hearing, the things that we're seeing, The bookies odds are all in favour of Daniel Farke, and I do believe it will be Daniel Farke. And I will be happy with that appointment. I've said it numerous times on this channel. I think he'll be the guy that can hopefully get us playing a better brand of football. I think he'll bring a lot of positivity to the club. I think given the right level of recruitment this summer, I think he can definitely take us on a promotion push. I've said it to a few people at work. I've said it to family, friends. I think if we get this right, then we will go straight back up. But again, it is a big if, and with Leeds United, you just never know what is possible. I think Leicester at the minute are obviously strengthening. They've agreed a deal for Harry Winks. They're getting Connor Cody, which England international is part. Is part of England squads, and they've managed to get him, and they're in the Championship. They're making moves, and we're just in a bit of limbo at the minute. Like I said, I'm sure things are happening in the background because it would be naive of us to just be waiting around. But the fact that we're not hearing anything, there's been no white smoke or anything like that, it is just a little bit frustrating when you're seeing Southampton have a manager, when you're seeing Leicester appoint a manager and signing players or about to sign players with the money that they're getting from James Maddison's transfer to Tottenham. So, it's all a bit up in the air at the minute and it's really frustrating. But like I say, I think it will be Daniel Farke. And yeah, I think that'll be a good appointment. He's got 2 promotions under his belt. The negative people will also say that he's got 2 relegations under his belt. Yeah, granted, I understand that point. But a massive caveat to that is that when he was at Norwich, he wasn't really backed when he got promoted. They were happy to just be a yo-yo club under him. In one summer, after they got promoted, they spent £10 million. You might as well have just relegated them straight away, because I'm not saying it'd have helped them stay up, but they'd have had a better chance at least. So yeah, look, I think if he's backed, I think it could be a good appointment. Someone that's used to the Championship. And yeah, I will be fully on board with that. Let's talk about a potential exit from Leeds United. A few potential exits, actually. Let's start with Robin Koch, who appears to have agreed personal terms with Frankfurt, according to a few outlets that I've seen over the last few days. Robin Koch, for me, a player who I'm not that bothered about leaving. At one point, I wanted it to be him and Stroud as our centre-back partnership. How wrong was I? Koch this season has been nothing short of abysmal. Overall, he had a bit of a purple patch under Javi Gracia, which I think a lot of them did, but no, not for me, and I will not be bothered to see him leave the club. Rodrigo is another one, obviously being linked with Sevilla, as I discussed on a video last week. Obviously, Orta is at Sevilla now, and he'll have an idea of what clauses are in his contract and such. So, yeah, he's being linked with Sevilla, but I also saw today that he's being linked with a move to Qatar or like Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, which would make sense for him. He's 32 years old, secure the bag, etc. But who knows where he wants to go in the next chapter of his career. Does he still want to be competing in a big league in Europe and go to Sevilla, or does he just want to secure the money and go to the Middle East? Only time will tell, but hopefully Leeds can get as good of a fee as they can for Rodrigo. Then obviously there's Willie Gnonto as well, who appears that he's attracting interest from, I believe it was Everton and a team in Germany, I believe. Again, it's gonna happen when he's playing for the Italian senior team, the Italian under-21s. He showcased his abilities in the Premier League for Leeds United this season, just gone. Gnonto is a player that I would love to keep hold of, and I'm not completely ruling out as keeping him, but it's very highly unlikely. And I do think he will move on, but again, you can never be sure. He may at least give us a season, and then if we don't go up, then definitely go. I don't know. He'll want to keep his place in that senior Italian team, though, which will make me believe that he will move on this summer. And let's talk about a few incomings that, well, actually, just one main incoming. That's actually a legitimate source has shared. Phil Hay and The Athletic reported yesterday that Leeds United are reportedly interested in a Liverpool centre-back, Nat Phillips, for a fee of around £10 million. I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I thought it was a little bit of an underwhelming name. But then when you think about it, the experience that he's had playing for Liverpool, he's played in the Champions League, he's played against Real Madrid, AC Milan. He was part of the Bournemouth team that got promoted as well. He was there on loan. I think it would be a decent acquisition. I don't think he's going to be able to crack into that Liverpool first team, obviously, with the centre-backs that they've got. So a move to the Championship may be good for him, and especially at a club like Leeds, who will be looking to get back to the Prem. And if we do, he'll probably be a key and integral part of our defence. I've seen a few people on Twitter turning the nose up at Nat Phillips, and I just don't understand where the mentality is coming from. Like, Leeds United are not going to be attracting the biggest names in football. It'll be decent acquisitions that can do us a good job in the Championship. I saw a story that we'd been linked with a QPR midfielder by the name of Sam Field. I believe, again, a name that I'm not too familiar with, because when Leeds United got promoted from the Championship, I decided to just not follow it at all. So I'm completely unaware of what we're about to go into, other than Leicester and Southampton. So if Leeds have been linked with him, fair play. He must be decent. But yeah, look, there's been a few goalkeepers linked as well, but who knows what's going to happen with that. Like I say, guys, it's just a bit all up in the air at the minute, and I don't like uncertainty. I like to know what's happening. So hopefully, fingers crossed, over the next few days, we will get some white smoke. And trust me, once that EFL confirmation of the takeover is done, you'll see the manager announced, and then we'll start to see players leave, players go in, and yeah, hopefully we'll have more clarity. Obviously, there's the thing about the loan clause in contracts where players are allowed to leave on loan as long as the club that they go to pays 100% of the wages, which I think is a good clause to have for certain individuals. But then other players, like our better players, the likes of Nonto, Adams, Verber, and such, if that's in their contracts and we start doing that with them, then we're going to have a problem. And I think it's good for certain individuals. Obviously, Roma are trying to do it at the minute for Diego Llorente and Rasmus Christensen. Fair enough. I'm not too bothered about them too, but there's other individuals where if it was happening with them, I would be bothered and I would be starting to panic. But let's just hold off on panicking about that. We'll see what happens once the manager is announced. So that is all I've got for this edition of Late Night Leeds, guys. Really hope that you've all enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow with bite-sized leads, where I'll be just doing a little quick roundup of the day's news. So make sure that you tune into that tomorrow night. Hit that like button, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course, get all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.